Colleges love to save money. So if a college is being generous, it's most likely because they got a government subsidy or a grant that has made them become generous. It's like if I gave you $1,000 and I told you that you needed to spend it on me, you'd probably spend it on me. But if I gave you $1,000 and I said do whatever you want with it, you'd probably spend it on you. So it's really no surprise that colleges and universities are being less aggressive than they should be about getting COVID testing and tuition reimbursements because no government authority has told them that they need to spend that money on students yet. Do I smell the winds of change and rebellion? Maybe. But since colleges are businesses and because colleges are brands, all incoming money is going to be used to keep them afloat so that we don't graduate from colleges that have gone out of business, which is a thing that actually happens sometime. I'm Roman Vi, and this is To Choose a College, episode 6, what to do the second half of your senior year, making things cheaper. Right now, you're probably considering application forms and FAFSA fees, but before all that, let's take a quick inventory of your senior year. Is there anything else you'd like to try? Midterms are over and prom is coming up, and that one couple that has been dating through all of high school is considering whether they should go long distance in college. They shouldn't, and you're saying this, which is a great step. Because when midterms are over, a certain feeling of exhaustion comes over the senior class. If you want to experiment with missing a class, I do suggest that you do it now, because in college, classes cost much more money to skip, and it's not as half as rewarding of a feeling. Other things you might want to try: detention. Not that I recommend being in trouble, but in college there's another word for detention: jail. These last few months of high school are going to be bittersweet. So in lieu of some words of wisdom, I instead have some financial words of wisdom to make this both advantageous for you and your wallet. Step 1, let's take a meditation and explore the sinister concept of scholarship tiers. This is a real process in which schools will award different merit-based scholarships to incoming students. The good and the bad thing about this is that they usually award these scholarships based on sort of rudimentary processes like your SAT or your GPA scores, and because of this slightly unfair system, which some colleges do understand, you're more likely to be able to negotiate these merit-based scholarships. Some keywords to remember here is merit and tiers. It'll only be beneficial to ask a financial aid officer whether that tier of scholarship that you're receiving from a university and then how far away from another tier you are. And it may mean a far reach, and then you can leave the conversation off with a slightly awkward tone of money grubbing, but you might be a few percentiles away from another scholarship tier, which could be the difference between $1,000 and $5,000. And if it does work out, let me know. But you may be able to negotiate your end of year grades to qualify you, or maybe a simple favor from your new potential college, because they really do owe you one. The options here are stacked in your favor. During this time, it's important to look into if you're eligible to waive any scholarship fees, because they also add up. Also, it's time to sit down with your parent or guardian and look over the FAFSA form. Some quick tips here is that the FAFSA takes financial information from up to 2 years ago, so your current income and standing might not be actually reflected and affect your first year of college on campus. So if your financial status has changed drastically because of the pandemic, consider asking your college to do something called exercise professional judgment. It makes them reconsider your award to reflect only this current year's finances and not previous years like the FAFSA usually does. If you're planning to attend university in the fall, you might want to just ask your financial aid officer if they would consider exercising professional judgment. Only a handful of schools are doing this, but it's the only way to legally haggle a bit of your financial aid. Next time, we have the second part of our How to Make College Cheaper series, where we talk the ins and outs of price negotiation, aka the art of the steal. This is the 6th episode of To Choose a College, so if you're following us along, check out our first 5 episodes right up here. Stay tuned after the show for a sneak peek of our exclusive podcast, which can be unlocked on patreon.com/tocHooseaCollege. Our patrons there get all sorts of perks, like worksheets and show transcripts and exclusive content to help you tackle this process. Next time, we're talking about price negotiation. See you then. This process was so important to me, I can remember the exact place where my college decision was making logical sense. I sat down at my high school's library in the early morning before homeroom, and I was on hold for the office of a certain New York university to open. This section matters, and you can graduate in 3 years, take off thousands of dollars of tuitions if you really do the research beforehand. That's why we're choosing our colleges.